Breaking news, Rumble Nation. Just 3 minutes ago on Monday Night Raw, Rhea Ripley just pinned Roxanne Perez in an absolute war. But that's not even the craziest part. Judgment Day is imploding, alliances are crumbling, and we just witnessed what might be the most chaotic 6-woman tag team match in recent Raw history. I've got all the details, the shocking moments, and what this means for the future of the women's division. Don't you dare click away. Narrator. What's up, Rumble Nation? This is an emergency breakdown because what we just witnessed on Raw was absolutely insane. If you're watching this, you either just saw history unfold live, or you heard the internet exploding and came here for the full story. Either way, you're in the right place. Before we dive into this madness, smash that subscribe button right now, because when breaking news like this happens, Suplex Rumble is where you get the fastest, most detailed analysis on YouTube. Hit that notification bell because tonight is going to be wild with reaction videos and breakdown content. Alright, let's get into this absolute chaos. 6 women, 1 ring, countless grudges, and an ending that nobody saw coming. Narrator. First, let me set the stage for anyone who's been living under a rock or couldn't watch Raw live tonight. We had a massive 6-woman tag team match announced for tonight's episode of Raw. On one side, you had Rhea Ripley, the Eradicator, the most dominant force in women's wrestling, the woman who strikes fear into the hearts of her opponents just by walking down the ramp. Rhea was teaming with 2 allies who we'll break down in just a moment. On the opposite side, you had Roxanne Perez, the Prodigy, NXT's finest export, a young superstar with championship pedigree and a chip on her shoulder the size of Texas. Roxanne came into this match with her own team, ready to prove that she belongs in the main roster spotlight. But here's where things get spicy, Rumble Nation. This wasn't just a random tag team match thrown together by creative. Oh no. This had layers. The Judgment Day connection added incredible intrigue to this whole situation. For months, we've been watching the dynamics within Judgment Day shift and evolve. Tensions have been building, cracks have been showing, loyalty has been questioned. And tonight, those cracks became full-on fractures. Add to that the individual rivalries, personal grudges, and championship aspirations of all 6 women involved, and you had a powder keg just waiting to explode. And explode it did. The match was built as a chance for Rhea to make a statement, for Roxanne to prove herself against top-tier competition, and for everyone involved to settle scores that have been brewing for weeks. What we got was so much more than that. Narrator. Let me walk you through this absolute masterpiece of chaos from bell to bell. The match started with immediate intensity. No feeling out process here, folks. These 6 competitors came out swinging from the opening bell. The energy in the arena was electric. The WWE Universe was on their feet before anyone even locked up. The opening minutes featured rapid tags, incredible double-team maneuvers, and a pace that was absolutely relentless. Rhea Ripley, showing exactly why she's one of the most feared competitors in WWE, was throwing her opponents around like they were nothing. Her power advantage was on full display, and the crowd was eating it up. Roxanne Perez, to her credit, showed zero fear. The Prodigy went right at Rhea, using her speed and technical ability to try and neutralize Ripley's power game. We saw some absolutely beautiful chain wrestling sequences between these two that had the hardcore fans in the building chanting, "This is awesome." But here's where things started getting interesting. About 7 minutes into the match, we started seeing the first signs of trouble. Miscommunication on Rhea's team. I missed tag. Frustration starting to bubble to the surface. You could see it in the body language, in the exchanges between partners. The cohesion was breaking down. The middle portion of this match was pure carnage. All 6 women ended up in the ring at various points, the referee completely losing control. We had dives to the outside, we had near falls that had the crowd absolutely losing their minds, we had innovative offense that I've never seen before in a women's tag team match. One spot in particular had everyone in the arena gasping. I'm talking about that sequence where all 6 competitors were involved in a Tower of Doom style situation that ended with everyone down on the mat. The referee started counting, the crowd was thunderous, and you could feel the energy building towards something massive. Then came the final sequence, and Rumble Nation, this is where everything went absolutely crazy. Narrator. Alright, here's where I need you to pay close attention because this finish had more twists than a pretzel factory. Rhea Ripley and Roxanne Perez were the legal competitors in the ring. Both women were showing signs of exhaustion, but neither was willing to give an inch. The intensity was at an all-time high. Roxanne went for one of her signature moves lightning quick, looking to put Rhea away and score the biggest victory of her main roster career. But Rhea, with that veteran ring awareness, countered. The Eradicator shifted her weight, reversed the momentum, and suddenly she was in control. Here's where the Judgment Day drama reaches its peak. Rhea looked to her corner, seemingly calling for assistance or a tag, but what happened next shocked everyone in the building. Instead of support from her teammates, there was hesitation, confusion. One of her partners was looking the other way, another was arguing with someone at ringside. The unity that Judgment Day built their reputation on was completely absent. Roxanne's team tried to capitalize on the chaos, rushing the ring to break up what they thought was coming. The referee was frantically trying to restore order, but this match had descended into absolute mayhem. In the midst of all this confusion, Rhea made a decision: forget the chaos, forget the drama, forget everything except winning this match. The Eradicator tapped into the champion mentality and went into beast mode. Rhea lifted Roxanne up, and we're talking full power display here, and delivered a devastating maneuver that echoed through the arena. The impact was brutal. Roxanne was down, the crowd was on their feet, and Rhea made the cover. 1. The referee's hand hit the mat. 2. Roxanne's partners tried to break it up but were cut off. 3. Rhea Ripley pins Roxanne Perez. The Eradicator gets the victory, but at what cost? Because as soon as that 3 count happened, all hell broke loose in and around the ring. Narrator. The match was over, but the story was just beginning. Rumble Nation. As Rhea's music hit and the referee raised her hand in victory, you could see the storm brewing. Rhea turned to celebrate with her Judgment Day allies, expecting unity after the hard-fought win. Instead, she got confrontation. Words were exchanged, heated, angry words, pointing fingers, accusations flying. The body language told the entire story. Judgment Day is on the verge of complete collapse. One member of the group got in Rhea's face, clearly blaming her for something that happened during the match. Another was trying to play peacemaker but wasn't having any success. The tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. Then, and this is the moment that is social media exploding right now, there was a shove. Physical contact between Judgment Day members. The faction that has dominated WWE through unity and numbers advantage was pushing and shoving each other in the middle of the ring. Security and referees rushed down to separate everyone before things got even more out of hand. But the damage was done. The cracks we've been seeing for weeks just became gigantic fissures. Meanwhile, on the other side, Roxanne Perez and her team were looking on in disbelief. They lost the match, sure, but they might have just witnessed the beginning of the end for one of the most dominant factions in WWE. The camera caught Roxanne's expression as she was helped to the back, frustration from the loss, but also a calculating look, like she was already planning how to exploit this Judgment Day chaos to her advantage. Raw went to commercial with the entire WWE universe in shock, with Judgment Day members still arguing as they headed up the ramp, and with Rhea standing in the ring looking absolutely furious at everything that just transpired. Narrator. So where do we go from here? Let me break down the implications of what we just witnessed. For Rhea Ripley, this is a huge moment. She got the win, proved once again why she's at the top of the division, but she may have lost her support system in the process. Rhea has always been strongest as part of Judgment Day. If the faction falls apart, does she become even more dangerous as a solo competitor? Or does this make her vulnerable to her enemies? For Roxanne Perez, despite the loss, the prodigy just went toe-to-toe with Rhea Ripley and proved she belongs on this level. This performance is going to elevate her stock significantly. Don't be surprised if Roxanne uses this as a springboard to bigger opportunities. For Judgment Day, this might be the beginning of the end, folks. Internal conflict has destroyed countless factions throughout WWE history. If they can't get on the same page immediately, we might be watching the implosion of one of the most successful groups in recent years. For the women's division, this opens up so many possibilities.